What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today we'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Metaplanet with the ticker symbol 3350 and MTPLF. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So Metaplanet had a nice reversal today, or it's not really a reversal, it's technically a pullback because we are still in a downtrend. So this move up higher is relative to the downtrend, so technically it's a pullback. So we're pulling back probably to the EMA, a little bit overextended, getting some relief from this or divergence from the EMA, a little bit overextension, coming back to the trend line, which is probably right around that 1,000 yen level, before we probably see continued selling pressure. I don't think this is a bottom. It's very hard to say that until we see a bottoming pattern. This is still technically bearish. We're still below the trend line. EMA is still pointing down. And we need to see a strong break of those levels before we can even think of price reversing higher. That would be the invalidation for the bears. If we see a strong move up higher through the trend line and EMA, that can change this trend direction. Until then, it still looks like it wants to trend down lower, probably to 700 yen, maybe even lower, depending on how bearish Bitcoin can get. MTPLF, similar story, still below the trend lines, below the EMA. This one is not bouncing as hard. It looks like it's coming back down to the $5 level to retest that breakout zone and potentially even lower, maybe back to sub $3. That's basically where the entire move started from. Whenever you see a pop up higher and we don't see like immediate fall through and price making a new high, a lot of times it comes right back to where it started, because how fast as we went up is how fast we can go down. This could just be an emotional market that finally, it comes back to reality once that emotion wears off. So it looks like it's coming right back down to where it started. It can stop before that, maybe even exceed it, but most likely it could come back down all the way to where it started. So just expect more bearish price action until we see a strong move up higher with conviction by the bulls. Let's take a look at the weekly chart for 3350. And finally getting a green start to the week after so many bearish weeks so far. But overall it's still bearish. Let's take a look at the log scale. This is one of the best performing stocks, I think, publicly traded stocks in the market. I think what was it, this year, or with the combination of last year. I mean, so far from the lows, it went up 13,830%. So what is that, 130x, give or take a couple percentage gain. So I mean, obviously, it did a significant move up higher in just a very short amount of time. So basically, people already got their returns that they were expecting, and now potentially could be due for a bigger drop. Let's see what happens at this trend line. We're approaching a potential reversal zone, which is a bullish trend line. You drag the trend line, we're basically right at it or near it. So that's why we're seeing maybe a short-term bounce here, but this could just be a long trap for price to continue rolling down lower. So we'll see what happens. Metaplanet, it's depending how down lower this goes, this can really turn into a top signal. As right now, it's still within the realm of being a pullback in a long-term uptrend. But the lower we go, the less and less likely that becomes a reality, that we are seeing just a pullback. Instead, we have seen a top. We did reach the measuring target, which is not a good sign either. That's why we're seeing a sell-off here for the bulls, and bearish strength is picking up. So let's see what happens. Short term, we are at a potential bouncing point, but with Bitcoin looking pretty bearish, I don't think this is going to start diverging and moving up higher. Can it? It can. That's why it's always important to just look at the chart you are taking decisions from, and not anything outside. But again, that probably will have some sort of effect on Metaplanet. So let's see what happens. Basically it's just still a downtrend, getting a bounce to relieve some of this overextension. And the market's been going down for practically every week for several weeks, getting a bounce. I don't think the bounce is going to lead anything significant until we see a very strong move up higher. So until then, I would just still expect lower prices for Metaplanet. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.